Very fluffy hair today. Let's turn this down a little bit. Took a nice break over the weekend. Worked on other things. It's kind of nice. Means I should be back and refreshed, right? That should be a good thing. But I'm feeling motivated to work on things. Part of the reason why I'm starting a little bit later than I wanted to start, just like 10 minutes, not too big of a deal. But definitely going to be working on stuff today. I do have one lesson, I think. Pretty sure that's a today person. Let me double check. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was just double checking. Didn't have to ask. I just had to look at calendars and stuff. We're good to go. Hello, Dark Jackal. How are you doing today? So one of the things that we definitely need to do is push some more Sumego Hero. Oh, Esteve de Prado Exa. Oh, I didn't check if I was user of the day the other day. I should have done that. But it didn't matter, but I didn't check, so oh well. But a pretty good morning? Nice. Yeah, yesterday I went out for breakfast. It's been a long time since I've gone out to eat instead of just eating at home. And someone invited me out to breakfast, and it was a place that doesn't normally do that. Like they're a pizza place, and they added a breakfast menu, so we thought that'd be funny to try. The food was good, actually. They just used the pizza toppings and put them in like omelets and stuff, and then like made pancakes and whatnot if you wanted that. Of course, I got an omelet. But their coffee was absolutely disgusting. It was not very good. I couldn't even drink it. And the person I was with also couldn't even drink the coffee. We went and got separate coffee after we left because it was so bad. Oh, it actually felt like I don't know, like it almost ruined the meal, but I could tell the meal was actually good. So it was just funny. Oh, 5,600 exactly. I stopped at 5,600. Dang, that's perfect. I didn't even realize. Yeah, the breakfast was good though. Like that's the problem though. Like if when your drink is bad, even if it was just orange juice and it was just bad orange juice or something, right? It makes the rest of the food not feel as good. So that got in the way a little bit. But so I had to make some fresh coffee today because I just needed something that tasted better than that. Much better. I got like a chicken bacon omelet. And I figured it's basically just exactly what they're putting on their chicken bacon pizza. Yeah. But then after we got our coffee and everything and we finished our meal, we found out that they do make fresh orange juice and fresh like a bunch of fresh juices and stuff because they have a whole machine for it and everything. I'm like, oh, we should have gotten that instead. What were we thinking? But it wasn't on the menu. So that didn't help. Because I think the menu is too new for them to know exactly what to put on it. They haven't remembered to put everything on it yet, I guess I should say. But yeah, so I only need a little bit more. So the number of problems go up. I think it did go up a little bit, but not too much. Not too much. But we just need 58 problems before we're at 50%. So we'll see if we can do that, because that would be a lot of fun to get to that. I was just checking how many I needed. If I can't, if I'm having a hard time today, then I won't do it. But I think I should be doing okay today. I feel refreshed and nice. So was I doing this one still? Yeah, yeah. This was a nice warm up one. I did get some new orange juice though, because I sort of um, I used to drink orange juice a lot, and then I stopped drinking it at some point, and I just feel like drinking it again. So, hmm, looks like I can just throw in. You can just capture. Yes. But like there was one place that I used to go to get orange juice all the time that I really liked, and that was actually the Fred Meyer orange juice. Their brand, one of their brands, because they have like three different brands. And then they changed everything up, and they have a lot of different things. So it's been like a year since I had it because they changed. They didn't have any orange juice for a while. They had, and they're doing other stuff. So I finally got theirs again to see if I like it. I have not tried it yet. It was last night I got it, so trying to focus on eating and drinking things that I enjoy, but also made me feel good. We just capture it. Yeah, yeah. We turn here. It's good. So this is a good starter problem, right? If you see this shape enough and you turn here because you realize that it's a um, they can't atari you, the shortage of liberties. Cup of green tea, nice, nice. Yeah, I've that's something else I've been doing too. I do drink green tea later in the day. There was something that I read one time, and it was about how green tea is actually helpful for uh yeah, actually helpful for after dinner when you're like before bed, and it actually helps you sleep better. And I thought, well, it's tea with a lot of caffeine and stuff. I don't know if that's going to help me sleep better, but I like green tea, so I tried it. And every single time I have green tea, I do end up sleeping better. So it could be a coincidence, but I think it might actually work somehow. Hmm. This one's no good. This one looks like it's okay. It almost looks like a panic moment, right? Because when they push in here, you're in Atari, and if you connect, there's another. Oh no, you captured a stone. You're good. But I've done that before. I panic with this sort of problem before. Oh, I think we can just Atari. If they connect, we capture, and they can't throw in. And if they connect, then we just Atari from above. If we go from here, they can do this one, and it's not as cool. Well, yeah, no, but um, like I've seen stuff like that, and sometimes the comparisons are like that. There's more caffeine than you would think as well in some things too. But yeah, no, it's just one of those things that I just wasn't sure would work to help you sleep. You know what I mean? Yeah, sorry. I think we just throw in. I was looking at it. Just throw in. Looks like it's okay. Okay. But it's also nice to have after you eat dinner as well, or while you're eating dinner. Either one depends on how you made your dinner that day. Hmm. We can connect underneath, but is it worth it? You might sneeze. Nope, I'm not going to. It's just the feeling. We connect underneath. They can do this one. We connect. They can Atari. We connect. They can play here, but we kill. They can block, and we go in. Looks like it's all good. I almost just played the wrong move first. This is something that I know I do, and I don't know if anyone else does. Is one reason why I think books can be a little bit better But it's nice having the answer available to you. So it just depends on the book. But when I read something, sometimes I like, okay, I click the first move, they click the next move, and I click the third, like the fourth move instead of the next move. And I'm like, wait, what did I do that for? Because like in my head, I'm already moved through everything. So I click. I will sometimes just click the last move in the sequence instead of instead of the proper one. Like, wait, no, I need to click here first, and then click here. Then we're good to go. You have to slow yourself down once in a while. Oh, I can just jump. This just prevents me from doing anything. So if they play here, we can take this away. If they play here, we can throw in. Looks good. If they do that one, we can still just take this away. Cool. In your case, you just misread the order. Yeah, that happens too, but I don't like to talk about that. But I know like my mind is moving faster than my hands can keep up. And so I just click too quickly in certain areas. That's true for a lot of things too. I've done that in like normal video games and stuff too, where I already know what it is I want for the last part. I just didn't do the first 10 steps, even though I knew that I had to do those 10 steps. It's like, wait, why did I do that for? That doesn't make any sense. This feels like the move, by the way. It's like the vital point, breaking the bamboo, also threatening to throw in and capture. And then it's like a Seki, but we're alive. So alive is good. That's the thing I don't check enough is how, like, is there a better variation? You know what I mean? I don't check that enough. That's something I need to start doing more. In this case, like in some of the problems, there's like a couple different ways to live. So you can make a ko. You can do. I mean, there's like 2 different kos you can make, and I just read a ko and then I play that one, and it's like, no, I should have checked which one, but I don't always do that. We'll just throw in. It's going okay so far. So this is a good sign. It's a good sign. Maybe we can do some other problems here. Oh, we can't do this one, sadly. I don't really want to, but we can't do it anyway. Connect. And if they make this co-shape, we can Atari, but then they can connect and they yeah. So we have to capture. That should be fine. Yeah, that should be fine. Capture. If they do anything, like we just Atari them. So we're good to go. Just have to do it from the correct side. You could do this one too, I guess, technically. This one, I guess this one's a Seki if you do this one, right? So you can't Atari though. So it is like a Seki, yeah. But like you can't do the other one they throw in. So it's like this is the move here, yeah. There's a little bit of a blindness today, but overall not bad. I like this one. If we connect, they can attach there. We're sort of reduced. This one is threatening another eye here and threatening this one. If they push in and we connect, we still have the 2 liberties. So this feels correct. Just connecting underneath is usually the right idea. Usually good enough. Oh yeah. 2 eyes. We got this. I want to think about this one a little bit more. So this Hane, and then connect, and then they go down. I don't like that. So we go here, they connect, we go here, yeah, so that's no good. So I want to do something else, right? So can I do this one first instead? If they block, we just Atari them, right? So they have to block this way, then we can pull back. I think that's correct. Okay, good. Yeah, this is one where you can easily just click too quickly. There is a ko. I'll do review. There is a ko here technically. This is a ko shape, but you don't want that. Yeah, I like this problem actually. I like that one. We just have to block because they don't have enough liberties on the inside to do anything. That's the most important part. Outside's always the most important thing to look at when you can. Extend feels like the only move, but I could do this one. Technically, it doesn't do much, but I could. I have to extend, and then if we capture, they can atari right away, so we have to extend again. And then it's a dead shape. They connect on this side, we capture underneath. Connect over here, we can capture, we can tanuki, we can do whatever we want. All right, last one of the easy ones, then we'll try to do some harder ones. So we can get to 60 something problems. Favorite Baduker alive. Baduker, that's a good word. Christopher Strom, hello. I actually don't know how to do the O with the I don't remember what they called it, but the double dots. I don't actually know how to pronounce that. Like stru or stro, I don't know. Just capture looks okay. Can we just cut instead though? Capture, they connect, and then it's like a ko shape, right? So if we cut, they connect, we can capture. They capture over here, we can throw it. It looks like it's okay. We're just doing boring stuff today, so if you just want to talk, that's good. That's what the mornings are for. We just sort of talk, do Sumego. We're gonna look over a pro game later. I didn't check one yet. Let me log in. Yeah, I didn't check which one to do yet. They should have some new ones out. Yeah, there's the Chinese A-League and some stuff here now. So yeah, there's some new ones out. I like to do random pros that I don't know who are. So we'll look at that a little bit later. But for now, the goal is east. No, I'm in the west. It is just now getting to be 10 in the morning. So this could be noon. You could do sort of that early noon. You used to start a little bit earlier. Yeah. I used to start a little bit earlier, but it seemed like more people were around if I started a little bit later. So it's still a morning stream, but it is getting more towards noon. That is true. All right. Noon in the Midwest, anyway. Yeah. So I need to do it was like 60 problems or so. That's the goal here, to get to 50%. We're almost there. So we need to get to some problems that we need to do. The 1000 Wei Chi was kind of difficult. The intermediate ones, we can probably do some of those. But they were only difficult because I couldn't think that day. So maybe we could look at them again. Is there any other ones that were... Oh, Tetsuji training could potentially be good. I've been working through that a little bit at a time. We're not looking to do too many problems, but techniques of Sumego, maybe, and then single-digit Q problems. Probably single-digit Q problems first, I think. Diabolical is actually really fun, but there's too much to read to get it done quickly, so I was doing those slowly instead. Mid-game problems? There are mid-game problems too, yeah. Where does it say that? Does it have it over here? There's end-game Tetsuji. Yeah, they have a bunch of different types of problems on here. But the goal right now is just to get the 50% mark. So Tetsuji training is sort of like a mid-game stuff. Oh yeah, I don't think I want to do this one. I think I messed with this one and I didn't actually like it too much. But yeah, I won't worry about this one for now. And I'll continue doing the single digit Q problems if I can. Black to kill. Okay. 2Q. Why 2Q? If we throw in here and they block, and we push and they block, it looks like they have an eye right here, right? Maybe that's why it's like a 2Q problem. So I want to push here. So if we throw in at C19 and they take, and then we go B19, they block, we'd have to go D19. Okay, so I get it. I get why this is an annoying problem. All right, understood now. Why it's 2Q and not an easier problem. All right. Let's actually think about it. So if we push and they capture and we throw in and they block, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. So we'd have to push here first. If we push here first and they just play, if they just capture and we push again, then it would be 1, 2, 3, right? So we push, they block. Then we could throw in. So we have to see what happens if they don't block, right? They play some other move. I think push probably still just works. I'm trying to read it out, but it makes it hard to read sometimes when you think, well, is it just this one move? There's probably any more annoying like this. No, I think just pushing seems like it's okay. Okay, then if we throw in now, C19, they block this way, push in, they capture, we go here. It looks okay. Okay, good. I didn't want to be too confused by the problem. This looks really nice. We can just capture half of it. Wait a minute, is there more to it than that? There is more to it than that, because if we capture, they can actually play like a move like a J1. And then we can't block, that's George Liberties. And we can't Atari here, because when they Atari and we capture, they can recapture. We have one too many, not enough liberties, right? That's no good. So there's something else we can do. I kind of want like a move here. Then if they block it, we can connect. They play from underneath. That doesn't seem good. Maybe we need to block it this way if we do that. This one, so we'd have to turn here. He would have to turn right here. Then we'd have to play over here. And then he'd have to play underneath again. So this is an annoying problem. Okay. K1, I guess, is another option. Take the liberty directly, because we're trying to make, I think we're trying to make a bulky 5. So we're using the cutting point to force the bulky 5. So I think K1 might be the best option, but then they play H1, but then we can Atari and capture half the stones right away. So they have to take a liberty. They can connect, or they take another liberty somehow. Then we can play H1. So I think K1 might be the move. I think that's good enough. Okay. second guessing myself all the time. I like this one. I don't know if it's right, but I like it. If they capture, we can Atari. If they connect, we can extend. If we extend, they can make another eye with this sort of move here. So I think we have to do this one. And then we can Atari here now. Because this Atari here makes it so they can't do any special throw-ins or anything like that. Oh. I wanted to throw in from this side, but I can't do that yet. If they connect, we Atari. What's the trick here? Is there a special trick here? I guess there's like maybe like a ko shape. Well, the problem makes the least reasonable response. Yeah. No, it's easy to get confused. That's why I try to, when actually doing problems, when I'm just warming up, like those really simple problems, I'm not worried too much about reading it all out. I'm sort of looking for the answer that I know already. But when doing these problems, I do try to figure out what's the most, what types of extra moves they could try to play, and if it makes any sense at all. And then I still, when I click the move, I still see them play something. I go, wait a minute, does that work? So you have to be a little bit careful with this. But so yeah, I think if we throw in here, they capture, we throw in again, they capture. There's actually when we could throw in on the other side if we wanted to. I don't know if that matters, but we could. But we could also just Atari. If they connect, we capture. They Atari. We could Atari from behind. If they capture, we Atari again and then make two eyes. And if they extend, we just do an Atari that is a snapback. Is that good enough? Is that good enough? I actually don't know. What's this throw in anyway? What's this for? Could we do this throw in? Because there's this Hane here too, which is nice. We throw in and then Hane and maybe capture some more, but I don't know if we need to do that. I think this is still correct. This is still good. Ah, this way to make the ko. Okay. This is why the other move could have been better. All right. Maybe the throw in. No, I couldn't throw in yet, could I? It's still just a ko. Anyway, so if I do this one, they Atari and connect, and it's a dead shape, so I can't do that. This one, they play here, we Atari. I think it's the same no matter which one we do. So we'll do this one. Incorrect, yep. We can't throw in the other way, though. Unless we're doing a weird ko on the other side. We throw in here, they connect. This is an Atari where they capture. This is this one, there's nothing there, right? So we throw in here. They have to capture. They can connect again. They can always connect there. So it just wants a better ko. So we throw in here. They connect on this side, then we can Hane and Atari. If they capture, we connect. Then we can escape from underneath. That feels really bad. I don't want to do that. Like, even if I live, that seems so bad. I would not want that unless I just won the game from it. Throw in. Hane first, maybe? They can just connect, I think. He just connects. Oh, then we can throw in? And throw in? Huh. I don't know this one. Let's see the I think the suggestion is not going to work, but we can look at the answer after this. Because this is probably a blind spot for me. That's what I'm guessing. There's probably a blind spot here. Yeah, because if I just capture right now and they connect, it's the same as the end result. They could just connect right now. So do I have to throw in now? Winning or feeling comfortable with your moves. Yeah, right. I think feeling comfortable with my moves is better. Yeah, this is incorrect. So now I have to look at the answer because I think I just have a blind spot. Oh yeah, yeah. There was a blind spot. Yeah, yeah. There was a blind spot. Seki at the very end instead of Ko. Yeah, yeah. If I play the other move, it's a Seki instead of a Ko. Yeah, there we go. I was like, there's nothing else that works on the other side. There's no other way to do it. What is this? That makes sense now. Yeah, there was a blind spot at the end. I'll add this to my favorites so I can look at it again later. I actually don't know, honestly. Well, so like if you have more Ko threats, I would play Ko. But for Go problems, Seki's almost always better because the goal is to have unconditional life most of the time. So if you have a choice between Ko and Seki in a Go problem, you choose Seki. But in real life, you actually choose Ko a lot of the time. Yeah, unless it says something about a Ko in the problem instructions or something, right? Um, but in real life, you choose a Ko a lot of the time. So that's why it's different. Because Ko is better for getting points, and also if your group dies and you get a really nice Ko threat, then it's worth giving up your group, right? So if you're ahead on the board, then you make a Seki. If you're behind on the board, then you make a Ko in these sort of situations. So yeah, so I have to remember that one. That's why I add to my favorite so I can check it later, and we can keep going for now. White to kill. Extend down. Hane, they Satari here, and we are alive as black. So we have to extend down, threatening the cut. And they can block, then we turn. And if they block, there is an Atari later, so it is dead. Anything else they can do? They can block from the other side. So I need a Hane instead then. If they can block from the other side, I need a Hane instead of extending down. I'm not threatening to cut at that point, but it is still better. And they can't throw in anyway, so we have to Hane here and connect. The thing to recognize for this problem, though, is the Atari. No matter what happens here, even if Black's able to connect on this side, yes, you can go from the inside, but the thing to recognize is the outside. You have this shape here to make as well. Right, there's this Atari stuff on the outside. So it's not connected properly enough to make it a Seki or anything. It's almost like a Ko shape. I actually can't let him Atari here. But if I Atari this one and they connect, I connect here. Is that good enough? Wait a minute. White to kill the other side, right? But if I allow them to Atari here, that's really bad. So I have to Atari here first. Or I could technically throw in first, I guess, but so I have to Atari here first. They have to play a move that makes this an eye, because this is not an eye, and there's no other eye. And then we can take away this eye here. So if they play to make this eye, we can throw in here and do this one. So just Atari is good enough, is my question. If they connect, then they don't have eyes. I can Tanuki, I think. So that's not good. Throw in better? No, I don't think so. This one, they connect. They could connect again, which would be annoying, so I have to connect myself. If I just connect here instead, when they block, it's annoying, so I have to Atari and connect. Right? Make sure there's nothing else there. Okay, we're good to go. Atari. Good point. Wait a minute, what? So it is throw in and then connect. See, I messed that up already. Now we can throw in over here. Yeah, I did ask myself if the throw-in was right or if just Atari was good enough. I thought just Atari was good enough, but I didn't think of them connecting the other side for some reason. Oh, that's silly. Oh well. This one I don't have to add to favorite for now because I could see the answer. I just did it in the wrong order anyway. This is just like a collection I'll go through again in the future. Okay. So if we reduce from the outside first, it's kind of hard to do anything. So we do have to play from the inside. We could Hane first, maybe. No, we can't Hane first because they can expand their eye shape enough. So I think we have to throw in here at L19. There's sort of the eye space at the end, right? So after we Atari here and connect, they can play L19 to live. I think you can play H19 to live as well, but there's, yeah, so either one, right? But they can play L19. So if we play L19 first and they connect over the top, we can just Atari here and connect and they're dead. If they expand their eye space here, we can block this way. If they expand their eye space again, we can turn and there's an Atari. So on the outside, there's an Atari on the outside that's important. If they expand in a different way, we can still, oh, we have to Atari, I guess. When would they have time to expand in that different way? If I do this one, they do that one, they can turn. All right, so no, here's that left eye counter. Yeah, I understand. That feeling when you can't find your cheese grater in the cupboard or dishwasher, the rest has been left out on the counter. So is it still dirty? Anyway, so it actually is kind of an annoying problem. Because I think this move at H19 makes them potentially live. Because I can do this expansion here. And then it's a 4 in a row. So if I Hane first, and then they expand here anyway, then I can push, they block, then we can Atari and go down. There we go. Now we can throw in. Another word with the designated dishwasher. Yep, that's normal. I got to the point where I'm washing a lot of the stuff that I use all the time by hand, and all the time is in like tools more so than like plates and stuff. So the plates and stuff go in the dishwasher, but the tools we keep that for later. We just wash it ourselves right away. I think we just push, right? What? What's the? Oh, you're right. You're right. I have to do the other move first. That was my bad. I was being stupid. This Atari first is good to have. Not this Atari first, but throw in. Wait. What? Atari. I read this one, and if they play this one, we can't push again. So we have to Atari. And if they connect, then we can push. And we're good. Okay. I'm just double checking and make sure I did read it right. Yeah, if I use it all the time, I end up just washing it right away instead of waiting. We have to push here to prevent them from being able to take our liberty. That's important. If we play anything else, like this one right now, for example, they can throw in an Atari. So we have to take a liberty. I think pushing here is the best way to take a liberty. There we go. Yeah, still small distractions still get in the way with Sumego, but that's why I'm not trying to do the really hard ones. I like to not do those ones on stream because they're a little too distracting, a little too difficult to do. Where's my profile? Ooh, barely did any. Maybe we want to try a different problem set when we get to 50 here. See if there's an easier one to do a little bit more. I like this push and jump. It's just dead, right? Nothing else? No other special thing? Okay. Just checking. I don't think there are that many easier ones to do. There's still a couple. There's some that I don't want to do that I blame myself for distracting. That's fine. It doesn't matter too much. Like the percentage doesn't matter too much because I can always go back and fix it later, but it's still one of those things. This one's kind of an annoying looking one. If we push, and they block, we throw in like this one. They block, we do this. If they push and they extend, they're dead. So they push, they block, we throw in at A1. If they push, we just throw in. If they hane, we just throw in. We have 3 liberties, we're good. So if they block, yeah, that seems like the only thing they can do. So seems good. That was an easy one. So maybe there's some easy ones in here for right now. So we'll stick to it for now. Oh, there's one of those annoying ones. We need to take liberties. There's 3 liberties. We have to keep taking them, and then keep taking them, and then Atari, and they go this way, and we have to just keep going. And it's sort of like a one-way street sort of thing here. I think we have to Atari from the outside now, right? Nice dumpling. I know, right? This is beautiful. Capture. Beautiful dumpling. Yeah, now it's another 2 cube problems. Yeah. So it's not a super easy one. Not a super easy collection, but maybe the test training one will be a little bit easier. We'll see here in a second. The only problem I have with the test training one is it wants specific moves. They're not always the perfect move or the best move. It also depends on the situation. So they're trying to go for like the most standard type of move. I want this Atari and hane. Does that just work? Is that? Is there anything else going on here? I'm sure I'm missing something. If I do this one, they Atari me. I just capture. They connect, we push in. They block here, we just Atari. It's not a ko, it's a double Atari. They can Atari from the outside, and we just capture. They can extend, we just push up, I guess. Is there a trick? No, not a trick. Okay, just checking. Sometimes when it's an easier problem, but it's rated highly, you wonder what the trick is. There is an eye on the bottom here. We just need another eye over on this side so we can capture a stone here if we do it properly from the correct direction. A nice sacrifice play, really useful to learn in the game. Yeah, so now there was some random easy problems. So we won't know if there's going to be more, but for now that was good. White to live. Okay. Does that just work? Atari. They make a ko shape, we capture, so we're alive. So that doesn't work. So they have to capture or connect. Then we can extend here. If they block, we Atari, and they can't do that, so they have to connect. If we push again, they don't have that many liberties. So they have to go out. Then we have 4 liberties right now. And then yeah, there's random dumplings in the corner ones. Yeah. Those ones are a little bit weird. I agree. I like this problem right here. This problem looks like something that could happen in a game. This looks like we messed up a Joseki. You know? But then the dumpling one that didn't, like, dumpling in the corner doesn't make sense. Yeah, I agree. That's why I actually like I was looking at the diabolical problems. These ones I like. These ones, it keeps resetting these, which are really annoying, because I don't know why. So we can click on it and I'll show you. These are all common shapes that you have to learn, or that's important to learn. And the goal is that one of these problems needs white to play again. The other ones do not. These are all, as I said, very practical shapes, and you just have to read each of them or know them, know the shapes, in order to know which one's actually not alive yet. And so that's actually really cool. I like these a lot. I'm going to be working through them slowly. I'm just going to do like one every day because there's a lot more reading to do. But you have to, yeah, after you decide which one's not alive, you fix that one. Yeah, which one of these are not like the other, right? One of these shapes isn't the same, yep. And then you have to prove that the rest of them are actually alive. So I believe it is this one in the bottom left is not alive yet. So we have to play one more move. And then when they hane, we go here and we can block. It's a nice little shape. This one, I messed myself up here. You do have to Atari, and then Atari, and then connect. Yes, very simple. We want to make this eye shape. So it's the same exact shape, same exact shapes. They're all different ways of killing or living with this shape. Make sure I'm clicking the right thing. And like because there's Seki shapes involved here as well. It even has you test the other way because it works both ways. Then you get a nice correct answer. I think these are really useful ones. The board's not realistic, but the shapes are very realistic, and you get to practice multiple at the same time. Yeah, I think it's really cool. It's really cool. Let me see if I can fix this one. See if it'll stay green after I solve it again. We have to jump here, and then we can throw it. This is all the L shape, and so as long as you know how to kill the L shape, you're good. And then this one is a non-dead L shape because there's a weakness in your opponent's area. So we have to make the eye. Then we bump, throw in an Atari so that if they connect, they can capture. And then this one, the L shape is just dead as long as it's surrounded, and it is surrounded. So we can throw in, we can attach, we can bump here, and then we just throw it again, and it's dead. So yeah, that one was the L shape. The other one, I don't know if there's a name for the other one. I just know that it's a very common shape. I'm sure there is if we went looking for it. But yeah, these are cool ones. This one was a hard one. This one was a hard one. And I don't remember the answer for this upper right corner. I know I solved it. I just don't remember the answer for it because it was kind of annoying and complicated. I do remember the answer now. I remember the answer. Okay. This one's actually really hard. I would say this is not a 5Q problem. Definitely not a 5Q problem. Yeah, so we can. I like this move more, but you can also wedge here. But I like this move more, so I'll play this move. Then when we Atari here, they have to connect. Then we can throw in. It's double snap back, really cool. Here we can extend. If they connect, we can hane, get rid of the liberty on this side, which is also an Atari. And then we can turn here to capture these stones. Very cool. This is the one where I kept messing up. It's because when you push back here, what you're supposed to do, you don't block. Blocking is bad. You need to play S19, which gets rid of the cutting point. And then if they do this one, you can Atari them from behind. And then Atari again here. I guess, should we Atari again here? Yeah, we should. Just Atari again here. Then we can throw it. Yeah. So that one's a tricky one. This one, we have to throw in first. If they capture, then we can come underneath. If they block here, then we can bump here. And then if they connect, we can come underneath over here. Yeah. Make sure I click the right thing because I don't want to go all the way through here. I'd be annoyed. This one, yes. So if we push, what about this answer? I forget that they do this with some of these ones. If we push here, they capture, and we push again, it's an Atari. So it's the same exact problem as before. So he has to connect. Then we can play it M19. Yeah. And there's a Miai for capture these 2 stones or save these 2 stones. But that one's way harder because being able to see S19, it's not that you couldn't do that at 5Q, but that's not a very common Go problem around 5Q. Especially if we're looking at it from like way back here. It's not common to see S19 right now. If you could see it right now. Yeah, so these are cool. These are really cool. We'll do more of these later, of course, but yeah. Over here. Well, let's go to 60 on this one. See if that counted finally as some problems. It did. It counted. Oh, we're at 50% this time. Yay. That means it's not actually 50%. They didn't count it right. They definitely didn't count it right. But we're at 50%. So we'll just do a couple problems here. Push, they block. I think this is just the answer. It's like a squeeze answer. So let's get up to 60. I like to do multiples of 10 and 20. So not like 15. It's just whatever you like the most is fine. That's how I like to do it. I like connect here, honestly. We want to threaten them a lot. Then if they connect, then we can block. They push in, then we Atari, blah, blah, blah. Do we want this one first, though? Do we need this shape first? Does that matter? Maybe. Maybe that does matter a little bit. It's Sente no matter what, and we do get some extra liberties, I think. And then we can play here. I don't think it matters which one. If we connect, it's going to be the same. We're still just taking liberties. So we do this one. They play here. We go, oh no, we capture. They throw in. We go here. They play again. We play here, which is an Atari, and then we're good. I don't think it matters which one at the end there. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which one at the end. I like this one more, though. Because we're threatening the weakness in the shape. So if they connect, then we can take the other one on the outside. Outside's usually the better way to do it first. Apparently I did the next problem. I don't know. It's probably in another collection. Let's see. Tetsuji training. It's in the Tetsuji training collection. Okay. This is something I like by the website. It'll tell you where the other problems come from. If you've seen it before. Oh, we have to Hane. So the normal move here to capture is to extend into the corner, but we need to take a liberty, so Hane instead. As long as they can't throw in and do something stupid like this, we're good. And they can't do it because there's not enough liberties, so we're good to go. Atari. If we Atari here and they block, and we throw in, and then they connect, and then we throw in, then they have to capture. Oh, does that work? Did I read that right on purpose, on accident the first time? This one. They block because they want to make the corner and not worry about these stones. Then we can throw in. If they block again, we can just capture, because when they push here, we can go underneath. Yeah. Okay. Then we can cut, because they don't have enough liberties over here. We just take these stones. It's all dead. That's a cool problem. I like that one, actually. It's not super complicated, technically, but I really like it because it's a really large bait problem. And then this makes it almost seem like they're alive. When you're reading from behind, yeah. Not from behind, but when you're reading earlier on, it makes it almost seem like that could be alive. I like that one. That one is pretty practical, actually. If we connect and they turn and we play K1, I had to think about where we were. That should... No, that's not a Seki, because they can play again over here. So if we connect here and they Atari us, we're dead. So that doesn't work. So if we connect solidly, so we have to play a K1 first. Yeah, K1 first. If they then turn, then we can play from this side. Because there's just enough liberties on the inside. This is a normal dumpling. Much more normal dumpling type shape. Oh. Atari. Connect. Oh, wait. This one's kind of weird looking. I like it. Yeah. I think we just Atari here. They capture, we connect. They have to fix this in order to make it an I. And then we can connect underneath here. If they block from this side, we can just get rid of this I. That looks correct. Yeah. Because there's only one I on the bottom. We just had to recognize the only one I and no other special thing. All right, final problem. We're there. We may not be. I think I know this one. This is a connection here, I think. But yeah, I think so. It's just a ladder. Well, we may not be actually 50%, but it's telling us 50%, and that's all that matters. We connect here, allowing us to do this squeeze. Now, there's a harder version of this problem, which is why I was able to solve it easier, because I've already solved the harder version. That's a cool problem too. I like it. The single-digit Q problems collection is kind of interesting overall. Not against it. I don't know who made it, who put it together, but not bad. If we look at the last problem, is it in another collection? This one's not in another collection. But like I said, it's similar to a different problem that we've done. Let's go to problem 55. Random problem. Just problem 55. Is that also in another collection? No, it is not. Okay. I'm just wondering because if it was in another collection, I was wondering if people just took it, like just took these problems from a different collection, like their favorite problems and put it in here, or if it's more than that. But I guess it's not more than that, so we're good. So we don't have to worry about these for now, and I can just do normal Sumego from here on out instead of having to, well, not having to worry, but instead of trying to get to 50%, I can just do normal again. Because it's just nice to see around 50% of 11,000 problems, so that's good. All right, let's see if we can find a good game here to look at. Okay. So, Tao Shinran, I don't know who that is. I know Shoke. I don't know. Time to add more problems. Yep. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. I just wanted to see 50%. That's all that mattered, okay? Sure, how? I know that one too, yeah. I'm not really bad with names, so we'll just move on from that. I think I know Yang Ding Xin, but I don't know him too well, so this one could be an option. But I definitely don't know either of these people. So I like this option too. Yeah, let's go with that. Oh, two brand new One Piece from Taiwan, Japan, Elite Go Exchange. So Taiwan and Japan. Oh, Chen Pinhua. That's the person we saw the other day. Okay, maybe that could be fun. Let's do that one. Yeah, let's do that one. That one's a fun one. I don't remember what the other game was like, who they played. I think it was the normal Taiwan game. Yeah, let's try it. This one could be fun. Hopefully we can download it since it's also Taiwan, not just Japanese. And we can, yay. There we go. All right. So let's open up Katago. This is how I like to do it. I don't need to empty my recycle bin. I saw that it was full, so I went to go empty it. I'm like, I'm on stream. I don't need to just empty my recycle bin for no reason. There's no reason to do that. Just open up Codigo. I can do that afterwards. All right. Analysis. I need to keep clicking on that. Turn off all this stuff and open this game up. Okay, good. Not showing anything. Very nice. Okay, so 2 fresh, 1 non-professionals. We saw Chen Pinhua in a different video, or a different game, I guess I should say. A different stream. Let's see where they were. Do I have the name on here? See who they played last. Do I have the name? Yeah, YouTube Studio. Content and live stream. Did I add that one? Yeah, it was a Leeway. There were 6 non-professional, and so I think it was just a normal Taiwan game. That's cool to see the same person pop up. They're playing a lot of games right now, so that's nice to see. They even had more games on here. I don't remember if I liked them or not. I have to click on the video to find out. So we click on the video to find out. Did I like this game or not? I mean, let me turn off my volume. I just scroll through to the game. Chen was white in this game. Ah, yes, I remember. Okay. Yeah, I thought that they, all right, this could be something to keep in mind, actually. Let's move this over here so you guys can see. This was the previous game here. What they did that was not good in that game, so that's why I wanted to mention it. But what they did that was not good in that game was that they played these very, very loose moves that were not very useful. And then they backed off instead of fighting when they should have. Because like right here, you definitely can't just back off and let your opponent reduce all of this, right? And then, yeah, we'll see. I was checking which move was okay here, but yeah, we'll see that black is just having too easy of a time, and then white played this -4 move, which was just capturing 1 stone. And so yeah, they just played very passively. They played very, very passively here. Very loose moves, and then played very passively. And I think there was something even at the opening that I didn't like too much. Oh yeah. Instead of reducing the right side earlier on when they could have, they focused on not really building the top, but like they kind of built the top side a little bit and let this get bigger before they invaded and did something, which gave black a nicer position. Yeah, I remember something along those lines. Now that I see the game. Yeah. Yeah, I think later on here. A nice, yeah, when they said the red move, yeah. I was like, what? Yeah, so I think it was a good game. It was fun to look at. But yeah, they were too passive when it mattered. And they focused too much on their own area instead of reducing their opponent's area when they should have reduced it earlier instead of later. Or it would have made the game simpler, much, much simpler. So let's see if they still play the same way against someone who's also a brand new professional instead of someone who's stronger than that. There's a 6-down professional. That means they've accomplished a couple things. I think that's mainly what rank ups are, is like accomplishments more so than specifically strength. But usually, if you're stronger, you're going to accomplish more stuff in tournaments and stuff. So it makes sense. I'll close this one. So now we can look at this. This will be fun then. Now that I know what's going on, now I have a better idea at least of what's going on. All right. Oh, did I forget to change the? I did. I forgot to change the thing. It'll be fine. I'll mess with that later. I won't worry about it. All right. Let's do this. Okay. Like a little white spot. It's just my ear, though, shining on the light. Like, oh, that makes sense. Never mind. So Chen is black this time instead of white. Let's just look at the first couple of moves here. And we're sort of playing a mirror go, so we're good to go. But this will tell us a little bit more about their style. If they decide to approach the top left, take a 3-3 point, or enclose their corner. Me personally, I don't like taking the 3-3 when there are 3-4 points open. I know it's perfectly fine technically, but I want to focus on the 3-4 points most of the time. It's never going to be bad when you do that. That's why I do it. 3-3 could end up bad if you do it wrong. So I would either approach or enclose my own area. That's the most important part. Let's see what type of thing they're going to do. They are going to approach instead. So I'm not sure if you could say this is more aggressive, but they didn't necessarily want to just build their own area. So most normal move, of course, backing off. This is where we'll find out about his opponent. As a Japanese player, so I would expect them to back off. But they could pincer. Maybe they're going to be very aggressive in pincer. Just back off. Okay. When it's this early in the opening, there's so many options. It's better not to worry too much about what they're playing at. The most normal move, of course, is definitely 2-space extension backwards. Yes, very good. And now I would expect white to basically just do the same thing. But this will tell us a little bit more about white if they end up taking the 3-3 or if they approach. But again, as I said, I like the approach a little bit more. Approach bottom right, I mean. And we'll also see if they like influence or not if they approach high. Let's see. Logan. Okay. Nothing wrong, of course. Diagonal. So like sometimes it's perfectly fine to just play the same thing you played in the other corner. It's not going to lose you the game. But I know that we don't always like to do that. We as in human players, we don't always like to have perfectly parallel positions. So I would expect potentially knight's move, even if they would normally play the diagonal here, or a pincer, just so we're breaking it up and not doing the same exact thing in every corner. But we'll see if they care about that or not. They do not care about that at all. Does white care? Does not care. Okay. This will be an interesting game. Is it actually going to end up being mirror go? That would be annoying. No, I don't believe that though. But so what I normally like here, I think it's more popular to just take the 3-3. But what I normally like here is approaching. Because even if they back off, we can attach and Hane. They get a little bit of influence facing my stones that are already there to reduce the influence, and we get to potentially make points on the bottom side. If we're focused a little bit more on reducing our opponent, we could also just take an enclosure in the upper right, or try to play close to their corner, but they could do the same thing to us. So I like the approach a little bit more, but 3-3 is really popular. So approach, see, I like it. It's good. We're playing good moves. As I said, if you just back off and we do the attach and Hane, this variation ends up looking perfectly okay for black, but white is able to push because if black Hanes, they can cut here. Playing chicken for Go players, yeah, exactly. Mirror Go, playing chicken for Go players, yeah. So back off would be normal. Who gets Sente after that? It's usually, yeah, it is usually white should have Sente afterwards. Whoever can come over here to the next area would be really nice. So actually, if white backs off, I also wouldn't mind just enclosing the upper right at that point. So that makes me feel like I shouldn't back off here as white, and maybe I should kick instead. Because running this stone out is never going to really be that bad. Humans, speak for yourself. Good point, good point. Yeah, so I'm never usually too upset running these stones out when it's just a kick from the 4-4. I don't know why. It seems like pretty comfortable nowadays. So if white backs off, black could just take this enclosure. So I actually like the kick here a little bit. They're going to just back off. Okay, we'll see. Are they going to start the normal Joseki? This is the one I was talking about. Nope, they're going to do something slightly different. Okay. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so this is what I was thinking here. If black takes this enclosure, we're breaking up the board, right? We're changing things again. And if white really wants to attack like this, it's actually fairly easy for black to just run away. All right, really easy for black to just run away. Yes, white gets a corner, but black is also doing fine, and black got their corner as well to some extent, while also reducing the potential for this other white group to do anything. This would be a normal game. I don't know if AI would want it. We can check. AI is fine with it. Either one's fine. That's one possibility. As long as your move is green in the opening, by the way. Even if it's a minus like 0.4 or something, as long as it's still green, like a dark green, you're playing a good enough opening. So as long as it's any sort of green move here, you're good. And if you let it think for a little bit longer, it'll look at more green moves. I do personally like the attach and Hane more. But it also makes me wonder, would AI actually like the kick here? Pincer instead. Same idea, I think, actually. But kick is also okay as a green move. We can let it think for a little bit more. Yeah, kick is also okay. So there's so many options in the opening. As I said, you don't need to worry too much about opening. It's when we get to the middle game that it'll be more important to think more strictly about the moves. For opening, you should be playing whatever it is you feel the most comfortable with, as I've said multiple times. So like me, I feel the most comfortable with Hane, attach and Hane. But I would have considered doing that too, doing the enclosure. And the variation I was thinking about is this one. As I said, it feels a little bit like black's in a slightly better position globally, because this group is not going to be able to expand very well, because it already has something blocking it from expanding, which is why I understand white's move, what they did in the game. But black didn't play it the normal way. And I will want to check AI if that's fine or not. I'll show you the normal way here in a second. But yeah, if it's like this, then white is the one that's able to approach the next one or take the 3-3 for the next one, whatever you're up to, right? So white didn't want to do that. White wanted to sort of take the corner as points. So you can do this triple Hane to take the corner. And I believe with this triple Hane, the normal move is the tiger's mouth. If white Ataris, you can do this shape. They capture, we can Atari, and then we can build our bottom side. I don't know if this is the most common. Ooh, casserole's in the oven. The game over yet? No, not yet. What type of casserole did you make? But yeah, so this would be a perfectly fine way to play. This is like a normal Joseki, but I actually don't know if it's the most common Joseki or not. So that's why I'm interested what AI says here. Because he connected, which I thought was a small mistake, because you have to usually do this 2-space extension here. This doesn't look bad globally, though. But white feels a little bit happier with getting the corner and maintaining a little bit of strength in the center. So I'm okay with this as white. So that's why I said I'm a little bit curious. The connect is fine. Oh, yes, this is one where you can also Tanuki. This is one where you can also Tanuki. So you could just play back right away. Any way you want. But connect or this one. And if we let it think for a little bit longer, it does like the connect slightly more. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, tater tot hot dish. Okay. Ground bison, cream of mushroom, cheddar, and frozen veggies. Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. As long as the tater tots turn out good. You know? They need to be crispy. Very crispy. Anyway. So, okay. That's interesting to know. Interesting to know. Because I haven't studied a lot of these variations in actual pro games. I just studied the actual variations themselves. So it's good to know that this is an acceptable variation, not a bad one, or not considered a bad variation. There was no negative anything on it at all. But it could be just for this. But I think I'm okay with that because I actually like this one. I thought this one was fine. And normally white even plays one more move. They don't have to, but normally white does. But I would expect the upper right now instead. Yeah. That makes way more sense. This I actually would pincer here now. We have some potentially good territory, and I want a little bit more influence, so I wouldn't actually mind pincering now. Yep, pincer. Very good. Very good. I said opening's all about preference anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. And ooh, not just going to take the corner right away. This is something I need to probably look at a little bit more. This idea, because I definitely don't do this. I don't think about this enough. I think AI really likes it a lot of the time. This time, just double approach is fine, but this is another one that was looked at even more. I think that's the amount of playouts, right? Yeah, it does like it if we let it take a little bit longer. Usually AI does like it. I'm always fine with just taking the corner right away because this is again one of those things that's never bad. So you just know you didn't make a mistake yet. And then black can play on the top somewhere, wherever they want to do it. A lot of different places. But yeah. I wonder which one it would want. It doesn't want that one? Okay. Yeah, it's never going to be a mistake. Always going to be simple. Never going to have to worry about it. But this one, there's a possibility of someone making a mistake somewhere, which is why it's a good option too. But it's also like prioritizing the top side. You saw that after white took the corner, black wants to move towards the top side to harass the cornerstones a little bit here, the upper left corner. So we're trying to prevent that. But and if we play here, we're also threatening to link our two stones up or even attack this one black stone. So black needs another move. If black backs off, white could jump up and potentially attack nicely. So normally the move is to attach on top. But I don't know what the most popular way to do it nowadays. So it would be nice to see. Just attach on top. Okay, it's good enough. My guess would be, even if a brand new professional, like a one-dan professional, even if you can tell they aren't strong in comparison to the much stronger professionals, I very much believe that they're probably studying pro games quite a lot and looking up to the stronger players and trying to decide all the new variations and stuff where they want to catch up as quickly as possible. So that's why I think even brand new games for opening you should be pretty good. Wedge is normal. I didn't talk about it, but there's only sort of two moves. Usually you do this one or you wedge. Wedge is the stronger move to play. You can only wedge if you have ladders. So if black does this one, I figured they didn't, so that's why I clicked it. If black does this one and capture here, we have this Atari and then this ladder here. So they get this one, but we get this other side, which feels really nice. And so we obviously have that one. So we just need to make sure we have this ladder here, which is looking like it goes straight to our own area. It looks like we should double check though, just to be 100% certain. But yeah, it looks like it just goes straight here. And black will have to just give it up. And again, this is like a nice way to build some really comfortable influence. So be very happy with this. Yeah, black gets territory, but we're very happy with that influence. And if we just block here, we're living in the corner. That's not bad. I don't know if we want to block this way or if we want to Honda or if we want to just extend, but we're usually letting white live here. We're usually not blocking like this because this is letting white capture part of the area, and we still have a cutting point. So the wedge sort of forces that. When black plays this one, white has to connect, and then black 100% has to extend here. That's sort of the only move. You cannot allow that Atari because we're just giving up a stone too easily. White can then push here, and black basically always just extends. Double Hane seems bad here. Seems questionable here, but it could work. Actually, not bad, but questionable. Extend is normal. If they go up one more time, then we can do this diagonal, which is protecting one cutting point and threatening the corner. And then we can continue on with the game from there. I think I actually like this variation for white. It makes me feel like I don't want to attach over the top now that I'm seeing it. I'll Hane first and then just connect. Okay, that's fine too. There's the other option here is like this one. If they go into the corner, now you've protected this cutting point, and we can move on with the game however we were moving on. I don't know if this is the right move. I'm just throwing a move out here. Like threatening this side, and then we can play to the other side or something, right? But Hane, this does leave this cutting point. So it'll depend a little bit on the outside. It looks like stuff's far enough away on the bottom that after black does this one, white is just dead in the corner probably. So it seems like it's fine to Hane directly in this particular case. And white needs to just live here. We don't want to give extra moves to the outside right now. So just extending into the corner is probably the better way to do it. I don't know if this is something I'm really bad at. But I don't really want to allow this. But I guess this is alive already, right? This alive already? If it is, then white gets like a great chance to try to fight back here or to really annoy black too much. And they can still just come back and defend. Okay. That's a good point. This is likely just alive, even if we block. So, because it's 8 spaces here instead of 6. Still wants to do this one first, but yeah, okay. Good point. I wasn't thinking about that for some reason. That is true, though. I show that you don't want to give your opponent moves on the outside if you can help it. And this won't in this case, so that's good. So we should just sort of defend the right side as best we can. There are cutting points, and we need to deal with them. But we can't just connect like this. Because then white can just do a 2-space extension, and now this whole group is completely useless. We can't allow our whole group to be completely useless right away. So we have to be a little bit more aggressive and play somewhere over here, which is what black plays in the game. So I like that black's not backing off yet. They played a simpler variation in the bottom left that is maybe better for territory for both sides. And they did allow this, which I think is fine. But again, that does make me feel like maybe the attach on top was not great. Maybe we should just back off here. But I want to press down. All right, let's let it think for a second. Yeah, it looks like any move is still fine for like an even game, but it does like backing off. Okay, it is moving towards backing off a little bit more. Looking at the number of playouts is what I'm looking at here. Kick is interesting, but backing off is looked at more than some of the other moves. That's good. But since so many options are okay here, it's probably still perfectly fine to do sort of whatever you want. Because I didn't like that end result, I think I prefer backing off instead. And this we can just look at what the AI wants here. The attachment here. Double Hane. Oh, interesting. Extend instead. Huh. Any reason to extend instead? Yeah, it's because white wants to capture here instead of doing anything else. So yeah, I like this result. I'm not sure I like it better though. Anyway, I'm not going to worry too much about it, but I do want to change this result a little bit if I can. That's something I would think about a little bit more, but it's still a perfectly acceptable result for the game. You have to be a little bit more confident in handling your weaknesses here. I wouldn't be upset with this one. I just would want something slightly better if I could. So here, the clamp is still very annoying. I don't want to deal with it. So I think white should just clamp and not think anything about anything else right now. Just do this clamp in the middle right away. And then the other option is, of course, attaching on top here because we want to prevent them from growing too much. We also want a little bit of influence toward the center. I don't think we just slide in the corner. I think attach on top is slightly better in this case. But clamp right now would be my choice. Clamp right now. Very good. And I don't know how I want to defend. If we go back, they can jump down, threatening to capture the 4 stones. We have to protect that, and then they can start attacking our 1 stone very, very easily. If we connect here, that makes this cut even more deadly, and they probably won't peep it. They might actually just cut, and then just try to capture these stones, then manage their other group when they could. So I don't know the best way to do it. Double clamp? That's like a wedge, I guess. That would be like a wedge, right? I think it's technically possible. It'd be like a wedge. So I think it's true. I think it's possible. Because like when you play into an area like this is a wedge. That is also a clamp on the stone. So if we have one more stone here, and then we play into this is like a double clamp. Right? That makes sense to me. I don't know if it's good, but it makes sense. That too. I've seen that actually. That does actually happen. If a white clamps on top of black and black clamps on top of white. So black doing this one. This would be bad, but this is like a double clamp. This would work too. Usually you don't want to do that. Yeah, so he's going to go up from above. I don't know if I like that so much. We have to connect. I think they're going to do Tiger's Mouth, which would make the most sense. We're threatening to kill this, which might just work. So are we just going to give it up now? Cross clamp, maybe? Because as bad as me, you shouldn't play it, maybe. Well, it'll depend on the game, but, it could be possible sometimes. And hello, Esteban Lay. Yeah, cross clamp, that's fun. Anyway. A cross clamp. They make a cross shape. Okay, I'm not going to think about that. Is that the best move? It is not the best move. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, the minus 8.3, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that move over there. And you know what? Surprisingly, this clamp is not as bad as this attachment, which is interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that. But all right. Yeah, this does feel bad. I don't like this at all. Just connect was better. Connect on either side was just better. And then this jump, yeah, that's actually a good idea. I didn't think about that. I was thinking a little bit too local. But 2-space extension here. Our group's just safe and fine. When they cut here, we can then fight and run out. So that actually is good. I like that one. I think I've actually seen this before. I'll have to actually consider it in a game. Because, of course, right now, if they Atari and do this one, we connect underneath. We're good to go. And then if they just connect like this, we may not even need another move. But if we do, we can connect underneath. We're good to go, right? No problems. So the only option this gives them is to attack this direction. And no matter what way they connect, we're able to run out here and attack them because our other group is strong and we are making this group strong while we run out. And then if this is running this way, you can see that eventually it meets this side. We want that one. It meets this side, and you can be cut off on this side while also harassing this group a little bit. It won't necessarily get played out this way, but that's the most obvious way to look at the idea. I like that move. AI taught me it though, so not the pros. So we'll have to work on that. This one just seemed bad. It feels really difficult to really manage the situation after white gets this move here, and it feels like the best way to manage is to just give up the stones. One way you could do that would be attach underneath. If they block, then we do this peeping thing and cutting thing. And if they do that, we can capture and we're safe and we're good and they're in trouble. And if they do this one, then we might be able to give it up in some way. Peep first, maybe that could work, yeah. But the problem, I think, is that they could push from underneath, because this first stone over here is not the important one. It's this stone here that's the important one. It's the same with after the attachment, but at least now we're probably going to be able to squeeze it a little bit better. We may not be able to Hane right away, but we might be able to squeeze it a little bit better because we have the opportunity in the future to connect here. And that's why the potential squeeze is better. But yeah, so it's a little bit complicated in that regard, but yeah. So white does not want to block. White wants to do something else. So white does that one. Okay. I was thinking they would just extend in some way. But this actually makes sense. I'm yawning a lot today. Today I ended up staying up later. But I'm not necessarily tired. I'm just yawning. So I'll probably be tired here a little bit later. But for now, just yawning. Need some oxygen, maybe. Who knows? Something like that. So actually, I like this. This is a little bit of a looser move. But it's also giving white the opportunity that if black wants to do something like this one, white could. I don't know if they're going to do this. Black does play this move. This is the right move. But white could just block here, and which is what they do. And so we're giving up these cutting stones here, which black still needs another move to potentially clean up. Black still needs another move here, which is what they play. And then white doesn't need another move, but they could play one more move. Clamping over the top could be a really nice way to do it. I mean, bending over the top could be a really nice way. This is actually the game variation. I'm really good at this game. But this is kind of a one-way street after this move. So, sort of only one option. But now we're at a point where they could do whatever they want. And I actually think white got a better result from that. White lived in the corner. White got to block off the top side. Tridents in their heads, yep. White got to block off the top side in some way. So even if black does play there, it's harder for black to really attack whichever side white deems more important. And then this group got stronger. So it's like we're reducing the efficiency of this group. It only got to live. And it's not really going to be able to attack anything on a very large scale. That feels really bad for black. I gotta be honest, this feels so bad for black. White is definitely 100% ahead right now. What percentage would it be, though? Not literally 100%, right? But white has a lot of good territory. I think it might be fun to check after this because of this variation. I think black ended up a couple points behind because of this. And white usually starts a couple points, or at least 1 point ahead. So this will be like a 4-point game maybe now. Who knows? But I didn't see any other mistakes. I didn't look for any other specific, like minus 0.4 or something like that, right? But if it's like that, then it's probably like 60 to 70. It's probably closer to 70% for white. Maybe not higher yet, but it's probably closer to 70% for white. Let's see. 64% for black. It's a 1.2. So white made a big mistake somewhere else. See, my feeling about this game was that white was better. Because this doesn't look good at all for black. The points are still better for white. Interesting. This is why I wanted to check. Because my feeling, as I said, was black was definitely behind at this point. But they're not behind. So what did white do wrong? Let's see if we can find... Maybe, yeah, it could be too passive. It could have been too passive to do that. So let's see if we can find the potential mistake here before we look at the AI to find it out. So like I said, this was sort of offering a trade. Maybe this trade is not good enough, right? So this could just be the mistake. I liked it, but this could be the mistake technically. It's sort of a one-way street from here. It's sort of a one-way street. You could play underneath if you wanted to, but it's basically a one-way street from here. So this move must not really be that good. It seems like maybe white should just keep going out with these stones so they can attack in the future. White does give up the potential for the attack. But also, white could, for example, extend it now. And it's still something that black still needs another move over here. And white can kind of loosely connect while also keeping this group on the top a little bit weak. So let's see. It's not like a huge difference in the game though. Just so you know, it was only a 1 point difference in the game. So even if this ends up being a bad move, I still think it's perfectly acceptable to play. Because sometimes the goal is to play into a situation where you feel the most comfortable. But yeah, I would not have expected it to be better for black. So let's see if this was a mistake. Let's look at it. Oh, the attachment here is good. Oh, that's a cool way to do it. Attach here for the squeeze instead of attaching here. I like it. Okay. And then this is only 1.5. They should just jump here to fight. But it's only a minus 1.5. And I think this was a bigger... This was minus 1.4. I guess technically they exchanged bad moves. Oh, when they Hane here... Oh, well, you could do the Knight's move. That's not too big of a deal. We block. And they captured here, which is minus 1.3. Okay. With minus 1 right here. Interesting. So I feel like that means black was slightly better before this, too. Interesting. I was liking white, and I still like white, so I'm not going to really change that. But I was liking white. But I didn't necessarily think about... They both made equal amount of mistakes, basically. Almost exactly equal amount of mistakes. So black was slightly better before this happened. Computer is wrong. Computer's wrong. Actually, I like this move. This move's actually really good. Don't tell the computer I said this. This move's actually really good. There's a lot of Aji here. You could do a Ko if you wanted to as well. And it makes it so that if black does go this way, you have this nice tiger's mouth, which is making it so we can capture these stones. Or if they back off like this, we can potentially do a netting thing for these stones as well. Actually, it's kind of cool. I like it. But this is a much more solid move. This is what you do to be very, very solid. So even if the computer doesn't like it, that's a personal choice in this case. Because I know the professional would have thought about like this one, for example, to capture. But this is like the more solid thing where we don't have to worry about any extra moves anywhere, really. So that's yeah, that's interesting. That means yeah, that means white made the first mistake probably because white's usually ahead at the beginning. So we'll have to check that at the end of the game. But as I said, I do still prefer white. So let's see how black uses this position because I would have a really hard time using my position here as black. It is very thick. There's no way it ever dies, but I would definitely have a hard time using it properly. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So what does black have to play here? Of course, the computer, we saw what the computer wanted now. The computer wants to press this down. It almost always wants that, though. That doesn't mean it's the right move right now or what black will play. But I guess it is possible to just leave this group where it is and just focus on building the bottom. Yeah, black could close the bottom. That is what the AI was focusing on were these pressing points. And then black could easily just play a jumping move here or play on the left side here. As I said, I don't really want to invade the top. I feel like it's not that useful for me. So I do think the bottom probably is the better idea. Let's see how the game goes. Press right here, yep. Just block, and we can push or connect or not do anything at all. We can just choose to not do anything at all here. That'd be fine. Is M18 Sente? Not Sente, no. So if we look at M18, we looked at it a little bit earlier. Azen Master? Azen Master? I don't know. If we block here now, white does not need to respond because we'll play this one. After this Hane, this is actually a wide enough space that the most black could be able to do is maybe Megaseki or like it's going to reduce it a little bit, but it's not going to kill it at all, I guess is what I should say. No, you don't have to say sorry. It's perfectly good to ask questions, especially if you weren't here earlier. But yeah, so it's just a living group already. You played it, yeah, it does. It would stress out your opponent for sure. Because like right here, if white plays away again, black does have like this sort of wedge, the sort of middle point here. White probably should play it. But is it even dead yet? We can still do a Ko shape here. Right, so it feels a little bit bad here. So if we can't do that one yet, we have to like throw it over here, but then this one's also still not dead because the corner doesn't quite do it. So it's just not quite big enough to kill yet. Not quite. This one, I think could potentially die. This way, right? This one's good. So if we do it this way, probably have to pull back here. Capture, block, throw in Ko shape. Yeah. The if you can get the turn or the push down here, then yeah, the invasions look a little bit better. They're still probably a little too small right now, but they do look a little bit better for sure. So yeah, so it's a complicated shape. It's actually kind of a complicated shape. So, but white, if it is dead from this point, white would just play one more move here. So black got the Hane and Connect and Sente, which is more end game, but white got to fix the one spot that was the more important area. So it's not quite yet. It will be in the future. It will be nice in the future though. As I said, I don't believe white has to respond. They could if they feel like they want to prevent any extra forcing moves, but I feel like going to the bottom now would be nicer, like a just shoulder hit or even do the knight's move here to reduce from a distance while also strengthening your group. That both of those would look good. They're going to slide to the corner first. Okay. I said there is a little bit of Aji here. Something that could happen, for example, pushing cut. If we capture, we can't quite do anything over here yet. Maybe we can. Maybe we can get looks like maybe there's a nice little squeeze thing here. Nice little squeeze. I think there's enough liberties for black. There's just enough liberties for black to do this, I think. That's a fun one. Because if we just keep extending, black gets enough liberties. So, yeah, so there's a little bit of Aji there that we have to worry about. And if we connect on this side, this is a little bit annoying as well. So maybe we do want to play another move. I just don't want to. Personally, I don't want to personally play another move. But this slide is a good one if you're going to play another move. I should probably think about that more, you know. I probably should just play another move there. It's almost always good to do it. I probably think too much about the outside for this type of thing. Yeah, so now I would expect maybe not Tiger's Mouth. That's probably not really building. But I wouldn't mind jumping here or just playing on the left side in general. Those are the two areas that I'm looking at the most. If I get to the left side first, this group can't really be harassed. Maybe slide is good as well right now. If we slide, then that exposes the invasion on top. The slide would work as well for that. And it's getting nice points. But just invade on the top, I don't like as much. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what they do. This move here is also threatening to cut through. They're playing locally still. They fixed the cutting point now. And now black will have to play away. Oh, black could play one more move, I guess. Black could push one more time. But these are just exchanges. More worried about the bigger areas right now. So let's see which place black does decide. Okay, bottom side. This is actually something that I've seen AI recommend quite often, and I probably should try in my games. But it does actually just recommend taking your points sometimes like this. I don't know if it recommends it now. We can look now. Yeah, it does. Okay. As I don't know for sure now, but it does like to do that. And like I said, I like to play like maybe too far away. This isn't really taking my points, right? They could just easily do this one. And we're not really able to solidly take this with a good shape if we try to go too far, for example. Because then there's this elephant eye. And there's like a peep here, right? A little bit of an annoying Aji. So we'd only be able to take it like here or here. So this is better for sort of solidifying this and taking a couple more points. Yeah, I need to think about this move more frequently in my own games. Because I said I always play too wide. I should try to play a little bit more enclosed like this. That's good to think about. But now it's white's turn to do something. I don't believe they care too much about trying to reduce this now. It's already too late. And playing another move on this side is only getting, if they jump here, that's only getting like 5 points, 6 points maybe. So this area is no longer important. I wouldn't actually mind just doing a 2-space extension here. This feels really good. I know I keep talking about it, but this 2-space extension feels great. You could go even further because you're stronger as white. Or we could just kick and fix the top side. That would actually also feel really good. Kick and fix. That sounds funny. But yeah, that also feels good. Which one do I like more? If we kick and fix the top side, black is more likely to play a move on the left side, which I don't really want to do. I want to let them do. So I actually like the left side a little bit more. The AI probably wants white to just press down. But let's see here. Okay, yeah, left side first. Okay. I really wanted to play there. I'm not exactly sure why, but I did really want to play there. It's not a good... Oh, it's because the AI wants to jump in. All right. That's too much. That's too much. Let's let it think for a second. Because that's too much. Okay. Now the other move is starting to look okay now. Okay, good. I was like, there's no way. There is no way that's good. All right, that's way better. Yeah, just this move is a good move. Reducing like this is fine. We don't want to do anything too insane over here. We could if we want to. that would be like a Chochikun thing. Chochikun might jump in like this, but I am not Chochikun, so I would never think of that. I should, but I would never. So this is just a good move. Now that we let the AI think about it, we can move on from there. Slide is nice, but we also kind of want to prevent our area from being surrounded. But slide might be fine here because the middle is not too important for white on the top. Slide could be the right answer. Otherwise, I would like jump out or attach on top. One of these two. And if I'm not worried about the group at all, no, I think I would just play around that group anyway. I don't want to just invade the top because that would make the left side weaker. So yeah, I would just defend this group. I personally think I want to jump out. That's my normal instinct. But looking at the board, the slide might be the right choice because it exposes the weakness on the top, and the influence that white can get from surrounding me is not very useful. Ah, so reduce instead. Oh, shoulder hit. Okay. I guess this is fine, but it does leave the left side group more vulnerable, which I don't like. We probably just want to separate here, but they do not. They do back off instead. I feel like separate... I guess... We're not attacking the other side, so maybe separation is not good because of that reason. If we're not going to attack, black could potentially just drop down here and fight more severely here. Maybe this is the safer move, a little bit more safe. Push up is better. It really wants this move. I'm not going to worry about that, but push up is a little bit better. I thought this was a mistake. I'm glad that it is. Let me let it think, though. Let me let it think. It might change its mind. Okay. Push up is the more normal move. Going from underneath feels way too nice for black. But as I said, it seems like it might be the safer bet. But I actually don't want this shoulder hit either. The shoulder hit I thought was bad too. It does want just slide, or you can make this push first and you can build some more if you want to, but this slide is good. Good. I'm glad about that. This just didn't feel quite right. Yeah, black can just extend. Now when they turn, the Hane is actually nice because we can kind of connect up a little bit. And the turning here would be really nice. Yeah, I like this position now for black. We're also getting some more influence towards the center, which may impact the bottom side in some way. White just wants to maybe slide now or just push again. Yeah, slide's like the we don't want to give up too much influence type move. And I would be very tempted to just connect my groups. These two zones are not too important though, so I don't have to, but I would be very tempted to just connect my group up, either by pushing or playing the knight's move here, or playing the slide now. Those two options, connect or slide, are really nice now. Slide feels especially annoying because we reduced white's top side. So white's being a bit more passive in this game. Yeah, last time it was black, Chen Pinhua, who was more passive in how they played. This time it feels like white is a little bit more passive overall. But we'll see. Yep, just connect. This is like the very solid move. So I'm definitely okay with that. Then kick, yeah. This is the, as I said, it was either connect or slide. And so if black connects, white prevents the slide. Because now this group could be attacked to some extent. There is still some Aji over here. So I guess I'm seeing a little bit more how this group, even though it's just a solid group and it didn't get to really build anything or do much, it is impacting the board more than I thought it would. Because now, well, first of all, white played too passively. If they played the other way, it would have been better, but maybe they also played passively because of how strong black was. That's what I mean. Like it's influencing the board. Even if they're playing the wrong moves, that might be why they're playing the wrong moves. Ooh, and play away right now. Interesting. Okay. Just sort of build more center area. I think you probably shouldn't, but you could. I do think you probably just respond on the left, but maybe that's not good enough. See, I want to just respond. Let's let it think for a second longer. So respond is a green move. It's just not a move that they're thinking too much about. There you go. Now I'm starting to think about it. It is fine to play, but the bottom side is a little bit more important. Yeah, in a real game, I would not really be thinking about the bottom so much. You know what I mean? Because it feels like, yes, you could do something here as white, but if you mess up, you lose the game. So I'd have to be really confident about it. uh, yeah, I wouldn't be so sure that I really wanted something on the bottom to defend the bottom right now. I feel like this is good enough. That's why I would have played this large knight's move. This is good enough. I don't need to play again, and we can just move on to playing normal moves. So, let's see how it goes. This one does seem like it's a wrong direction though. But I don't know if the AI is the only one who's seeing the invasion on the bottom. I'm sure the pro sees that there's possibility 100%. I just don't know how complicated that invasion actually is. Because I got to see it with the AI, it makes it really hard to judge afterwards. So my feeling is that maybe it's a difficult invasion, and they're both a little bit hesitant to play it. But now I really want to play again on the left side, especially since this was the wrong direction. Yes, they're building some center here, but they're not going to be able to get that much center there. And if they give up these 2 stones to do it, that's not very useful. Let's go. Yep. Left side. Black can just live now, I think. They could just attach and extend and let them get surrounded and then go back to live, but that doesn't feel very good, especially after playing this large knight's move here. Well, and there's this weakness, right? This has been here the entire time. And if black wants to block this way, they can't. That's a ko, kind of. It's a ko, but like black could decide to do this, but they lose the center again. And then they need to capture again. And then they lost the center, right? Even if there's still technically a ko here, this group of stones is more useful now that it's in the center. So that could be why AI doesn't like it, is because of that weakness there that it keeps showing us. So we can keep going here. Black probably can't just give that up. So yeah, knight's move. I was expecting like, yeah, attach or knight's move is normal. Attach here, it does feel like, oh, not that. It does feel like white is a little bit too easy to get enough strength outside to be annoying. So I don't really want to do that. Knight's move means that they get to run out. They're not necessarily alive. White could just take half of it. Or they could just keep playing knight's move here, or they could try to attach over the top to be very severe. But my feeling would be we kind of want to try and find another weakness to take advantage of so that this group is more annoying for black. We could just clamp here, which is a peep, a cleep, clamp peep. So that could work, but I think that that's not a Sente move necessarily, because there are potential Ataris towards it. And Han underneath, I think, is a bit too passive right now. So I feel like maybe they have to come back to this side to try to break into the center a little bit. Even if black connects here, this is still technically co-shapey in the future. At least a co-threat. But if black connects, white is able to push through really, really easily. So black can't really connect anyway. So just jump again. We're just reducing from a distance. That feels a little bit passive too, but I'm not against it. Yeah, a little bit passive, but they are trying to just get strength so they can follow up in like anywhere in the middle, right? I think black just adds one more move to their group over here and they're fine. So maybe that's, I don't even know if they need to add one more move right now. They could Tanuki. Hmm. Let's see. They are going to Tanuki, okay. My feeling was that if black adds another move in any way, yes, black gets alive, but they're not making any points from becoming alive right now. So it's better to just, like, if you're jumping out and you're ruining your own area, sometimes that is a time when it's better to just live small. You don't want to give it up, but you also don't want to ruin your own stuff. So playing from the outside, if white goes to surround like this, I didn't think they would play this one, but if white goes to surround like this, you can see that we're still probably alive here. And there's still some Aji in white's position, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. We'll say white's solid. We can do this one. There we go. We'll do that to make it alive, right? And give white some free moves. I would much rather live small like this and have an extra move to deal with whatever's going to happen on the outside versus running out, giving white extra strength to just reduce us. So I do actually like this move. I don't know if it's good. I do like the idea behind the move. I was wanting to play Tengen because Tengen's better, but this move's also fine. The idea behind this one's a little bit nicer, though. If white Tanukis, black can do something like this one to build this area a little bit more. So has a better follow-up, but Tengen's better. It's cooler. White has to do something now. Seems like somewhat passive, but it depends on the reading here. If black just backs off here and white only plays like this, then this is definitely too passive because black's also building something and white needs another move and another move. And then, as you can see, black also ended up getting some center from it. So it's not very useful to just build like that. So they have to be more aggressive. So when black attaches, which is what they did, they have to wedge, maybe? There is more Aji with the wedge. You could do that. And then just Hane over the top, Atari, connect, and push down. That also doesn't feel very good. Actually, I don't like this move at all from white. Maybe it's fine, but I don't like it at all. Minus 1.4. But it still just wants this. Let's do this one first. And let's have him respond. And it still just wants the invasion. It still doesn't want this one too much. So -1. Okay. So you get rid of the blue move, and sometimes it's easier to calculate the next option. So it still doesn't really want that move. Pressing down the bottom is still good, but it doesn't really want that one. That one's a weird move. Okay. It's not a huge mistake, just a weird move. Okay. Now attach on this side. I guess neither of them noticed that this was the correct shape because we're threatening stuff over here. But that's fine because I don't know if I would see it either. Attach here is sort of, this is like a normal shape. If black Hanes, we just extend here and we're like pretty happy overall. So in this case, I think it actually helps black a little bit more. So I think black's happy to Hane. There's a nice push. There's just a forcing move. Ooh. Now I really want a Hane, but he's just going to back off. Is Hane bad here? I guess it could be bad with this crosscut. And we don't necessarily want to do this. Oh, it wouldn't connect. We would do this one. We don't necessarily want to do this one because that could help white just be too easy in the center. So Let's keep going. Yeah, that feels bad if you have to just back off, but oh, now Hane, okay. Yeah, so like we said before, if we just surround, Black's gonna be able to live with a couple points, not really have to worry about anything. So instead of surrounding, we would much rather push Black towards his own center area. So the Hane makes a lot of sense. If Black just jumps in now, then maybe we can threaten it just a little bit more, and we broke in, right? We're broken. Just a little tiny bit more of a threat, and we're broken in. I don't think that move's necessarily Sente, but we have technically already broken in at this point too. But I also think we broke in from the other side already, so I'm not sure I like it. And the bottom side would be a bit more important. So right here, I want to try to guess again who's ahead. For the opening, I liked White more, but I feel like White ended up being more passive later on. And even though they were both making mistakes, I think Black was a little bit more consistent when White probably needed to fight back a little bit. So my feeling is that Black's even further ahead than they were earlier. It could have gone back and forth a little bit, of course. So it probably isn't 90%, but it could be 70 to 80% for Black now, if my feeling is correct, because I was liking Black because of how White was playing. Whereas earlier I was not liking Black because White was doing really, I thought White's position was nicer. So let's see what it says here. Yeah, 68.7%. Okay. I'm going for win rate because I'm not going to be able to guess the score without just counting it. And then win rate's just the possibility of winning the game from this position, basically, right? So 68.7% is not how easy it would be for a pro to win from this position. Be how easy it would be for a yeah, still closer than last time, yeah. So how easy it is for the AI to win. So it's still within a point, but it should be an easier game to play. So that is my feeling as well. It's a little bit of an easier game to play. Because I think there's not much more White can do to really destroy the bottom side. And they can't really build too much in their own areas anymore. Like I think all the points are basically decided. And it's going to be whoever plays better end game. Unless something happens on the left side here. If we go back once, it was a little bit closer. So this move is a mistake. This move makes more sense for attacking this group, but it is a mistake. Interesting. But this move's a huge mistake. So Black was really far ahead. So there were some back and forths here. So we can close this again. And if you see how much that was, how volatile that was, right? That shows you that there's plenty of mistakes to be made from here. But Black's in just the easier position. That's all to think about it as. It's the easier position to win from. So I'm gonna see how they handle this left side group, and then we'll probably go back and look at it with AI a bit more detail. Because it's been my 2 hours now. I like to do about two hours, so looks good. So let's see how Black handles the left side after they Hane here. The jump, as I said, makes it feel like it's real easy. So I wouldn't mind just connecting a little bit more. I don't want to just leave it. I think it's not good to leave it. We could extend up. This is threatening some stuff, and we could connect up. Slightly more room to make mistakes. Yeah, that's what I mean by easier to play from. So Black has more room for mistakes. Easier to play from. Yeah, easier to handle because of the extra room to make mistakes if they need to. I actually don't know what I would play here as Black. Extend up actually feels like it's okay. If we want to manage this locally. If White pushes, we can block. That's easy. If so, White needs to extend. Then there is some Aji with this push in at the star point. They will likely have to connect. So just pushing here at is that E15? Might be able to connect us out. And the other option is just to play like a move like this knight's move, so we're more or less just connected right away. We could maybe even try to use the Aji of this group if we need to, like peeping and jumping like this instead. Because that might be a way to get some points too. If we peep, jump, that would be really nice. So white might have to fight back. So we'll see what they do. Just jump directly. Yeah. So this is what I was thinking. I said white might have to fight back. If we peep first, maybe white doesn't answer that. And they go out here, for example. So yeah, we're saving our group, but we lost the center still. So he wants to do it from this way, which is potentially getting some center. I mean, later on, black will be able to turn here and at least turn this into something. So white has to find the right timing to come back as well. Like right now would probably be fine, honestly. But if we do it this way, we're maybe making some extra points and not giving white as many options for fighting back. If white just pushes, we can Hane here at a minimum. Yes, we lose stuff, but we're also gaining enough. I think we're gaining overall, right? So we're losing this, but we're at least gaining something over here. And we haven't really lost too much on the bottom side. This would be okay enough, you know, not the perfect answer, just okay enough. So when white pushes, black does something a little bit more. They do this one. Okay, this is the other move I was looking at. Okay, so I see the idea. What's going on here? Black really wants this variation. This would be the best variation. We're getting some points. They can't attack us anymore, right? White backs off, but white's not going to back off from here. So he still wants to try to get some points. So let's threaten that really nice variation. White prevents the variation. And then we just go back to normally living here. We're just going to connect. We got potential to make 1 or 2 extra points. And then we're just saving our group. Because this was the other option I had, was playing here to just save the group. So that's cool. And let's see if there's anything else with this. Atari from under. That is threatening a cutting point, which is probably big enough. But I don't see a clean way for black to defend it. So I'm tempted to leave it. Let's see what black does. They do defend it this way. Yeah, this isn't very clean, but it does defend. Clean meaning there's still quite a lot of cutting Aji here. And if white extends up like this, there's still like a cut here technically. So it's not a very safe position. And then white Hanes to get rid of the center. Black Ataris, which is a good exchange right now. Make our group very strong. I like that. And then we move on to end game stuff here. Though black does find the cool variation that AI wanted to play. AI was looking at this earlier, but I didn't look at the variation. Let's just see what it looks like here. There's a ton of Aji here. Oh. This feels so bad for white. Okay. Looks like white made a mistake here, for sure, at this point. Let's not worry about that. We were going to look at the score graph and stuff here. Ooh. 100% win rate at the end of the game, of course. That makes sense. So black wins this game. It did look like black was going to win, but it looks like this is where the biggest mistake was, and it was this fight right here. Looks like white got a small advantage from how black played here, so that's good to know. Let's go back to the beginning, and then we'll look at that in more detail. Make sure we're not still okay. We're good. Normal, of course. We don't need to worry about any of this stuff for now. This will be interesting to look at a little bit. Let's see. I'm gonna let it think for a little bit here before. Yeah, I did. Wedge is the only move. Not the only move. The move you should play. 3-3 is also good. Yeah, honey's good because the cut doesn't work this time. And we really want that that clamp, but living first, perfectly acceptable. You don't need to do that first. And black should have potentially played a little bit closer. That feels bad to do, but a little bit closer. However, after the clamp, black could just do the same thing to live here. And yeah, I agree that this probably makes the game much easier to play as black. So, but this one made it very complicated. Oh, white can actually just push down. Huh. That's something I'd have to really read to know. But yeah, okay. So this diagonal is a slight mistake. That's what makes this not as good for white. I see. Okay. Because white can just kill these 4 stones, but black gets a nicer squeeze on the outside. Okay. That's interesting. I was wondering why this wasn't good for white. And this is the reason why. Because white could have done a little bit better here. Very interesting. Okay. Black has this really cool move. You have to remember this one for the future. If they play down, now we can peep. Now we can block and block. And now they have to live here. And we actually got something nice out of this. So that was a really cool variation. I like it. If we're going to sacrifice like that. Anyway. And then, yeah, so white played the wrong first move and then the wrong second move. So this made it 50% and then go back for black to be ahead. Interesting. Okay. I thought this was fairly normal. But, of course, if this move just works, it's better. That's why if black plays a little bit closer, he could potentially play this way because this move wouldn't work anymore. That's a good point. That's cool. Hane makes sense. Block. Yeah, all this stuff is normal. Makes sense. See, oh yeah, and then this was a mistake. This slide in the corner was a mistake. If we're going to play again, we should just connect, get rid of all the weakness. That is usually the better way to play, but the other move is way more territorial, so I understand it more. Like, I understand like why they're playing it. If we let it think for a second, it still doesn't like it, so it doesn't matter. It's because there's a bunch of Aji here. And this just helps white. This was not a very good, useful move for black. It just helped white. But taking the center here was good. And then we want to see where the next big mistakes are here. Because I pointed out some of these. This one is a mistake. But let's play this forcing move first. And then let it think for a little bit longer here. How big of a mistake is it after we play this forcing move? Is it the same size of mistake? Or is it not? It's a little bit less of a mistake after we play that forcing move. But it's still basically the same size. Because it really wants the bottom. I don't believe either player thought about invasions on the bottom here. So I'm not sure either of them saw it. So it might be a very, very complicated thing. Like a top level pro or AI, but not necessarily a newer pro could read out that bottom invasion too easily. I'm still okay with this move because I like the fact that they just connected everything. Make it very, very simple. But I can see why it would be slow. I just like that it's very solid. But I also wouldn't have thought that there was an invasion on the bottom that was too easy to do. So I wouldn't have been worrying about that. But yeah, this was just wrong direction. There's no reason to be jumping from this direction. It also highlights this weakness even more. So this is where if I am Tanukiing from this, I'm probably playing over here or something over here, or what I would want is maybe something like this move here. But anywhere else except for that one, basically, that direction just doesn't make too much sense. I would rather be focusing on fixing my group or growing a little bit. And if white's able to attack the left side group, then this jump feels good. But I probably would have just extended. In the game, I would have just extended anyway. So if I was playing, that's all I would have done. Then yeah, this is a mistake because there's other moves you can play. Let's play this move. Let's fix this. And then is it still as big of a mistake? And what was it before? It's still basically the same size. All right, that's good to know. So it's just more important to deal with the bottom side. That seems to be the whole thing, is the bottom side was just bigger to mess with first. And once black gets one more move there, it's going to be too late. Yeah, jumping here was definitely slow. I understood the move, though, but it was definitely a little bit slow. Not as bad as some of the other moves, but definitely a little bit slow. And because there is this Aji that black uses later, which we will look at. Maybe that's actually why black played this move. Apart from protecting a little bit, it's also pointing out that weakness in the shape a lot more. Basically, you just should use the weakness right away. That's what the AI wants. We use the weakness. Do it. So, not too big of a deal. Oh, block that way. It makes more Sente moves, so then extending this way is bad because you can get this move for free now. Let's do this move first and then look at it again after white defends. If black backs off here, is it still 3-point mistake? Still 3 points, okay. Interesting. So it's just not the right time to be playing over here. This move doesn't matter too much at all. It's not really threatening anything. I guess that's the way to think about it. It's not really threatening anything. I wanted to respond because it makes it easier to potentially get something in the center, but I guess it is true you don't really need to respond. That is kind of true. Yeah, Hane here, and then we need to defend in some way. But it really wants that forcing move first. Let's do the forcing move first. And let's get this one here. And then it still just wants to continue. It doesn't even care about those stones. Doesn't care about them at all. That's a little hard to judge. That's definitely too hard to judge. I feel like those are big enough that I don't want to give them up. I'd have a hard time with that. Hane was good, by the way. Hane was good. So what are the moves I was looking at? Yeah, and we don't want to bump there. Like I said, this bump doesn't feel very good at all. It feels like it's really difficult to do anything. I guess if we're giving that up after the Hane, maybe that's why those stones aren't important. Because it's going to be hard to do anything with them, so you should just move on from them. Especially because this shape is really bad right here. Oh, I could jump instead, but black makes a really strong shape. White goes try to do something big, but they play the wrong end game. It's a big end game, but the wrong area. And black should probably play one more move in the center, I guess, but the cut is still good, so we'll do the cut. Peep. Don't push yet. Oh, just connect is fine, basically. Okay. Push. Cut. So the push and cut was overplay, but white played the wrong punishment. The kick here was the right way to punish because we have a stronger follow-up. Okay. That's why white ends up a little bit ahead here. Because like before all this stuff here, because the upper left was actually not that important apparently. Black's in a good position. but after they cared about the upper left, and as I said, it's because this shape is bad. I'm fairly certain now that I've seen more, it's because this shape is sort of bad here. Because when black does this one, even if we don't play this move, if white just extends here, black needs another move to sort of defend this shape. And there is the push and cut. There's also Hane here. There's a lot of weakness in this area. It's really annoying. So we have to like keep defending it over and over and over again. Doesn't mean that's the best way for white to do it, but that's just the most easy to illustrate way. So instead of having to defend all the time, we should Tanuki. But if we're going to Tanuki and give up part of this, we should probably just do it now, because it's way more open right now. If white does it from the wrong direction, we can still get something nice from it. So it's better to have just moved on and play the other big moves right now instead of worrying about this group, because it's hard to save it perfectly later. Interesting. That is something to think about in your games. If it looks difficult to save and you don't need it for points, you don't have to save it directly. Interesting. More of an advanced idea, though. Yeah, push and cut was overplayed, but white responded with the wrong move. And then white responded with the definitely wrong move here. Even I saw that and was confused by it, because white's at 90% right now, as long as they connect their groups up. So black should have Tanuki'd. But attached on top is really bad. Hane's not as bad. And then push and cut here. Oh. This all feels really so bad. This just feels terrible. Even though black is making mistakes, it's already too late for white. Yeah, this is too much. It's just a reading thing here, basically. That got him very far ahead. But that's actually nice to see. Against a different player, after the game that we watched last time, they were more aggressive instead of just backing off, which is what happened before and how they really ended up losing by a decent margin. So instead of just backing off, they tried to be a little bit more aggressive. They didn't go overly aggressive, but they tried just to be a little bit more. They found a weakness and they tried to use it as best they could. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe. Oh. Yeah, they tried to use it as best they could, but black ends up with a really nice position here. They would need to make some extra weakness in white's shape, but overall, really nice position. Connecting there. Anyway, got a little distracted, but it seems like there's no way for black to really lose at this point, unless they make a huge blunder, of course, which shouldn't be possible at the pro level. They shouldn't make any very large blunders. Oh, yeah. I'm basically at the end anyway, so thanks for staying around, Dark Jackal. Have a good day. Enjoy your casserole and stuff. Yeah, so as long as there's no huge blunders from now on, we are good to go. Huge blunders would be like a 10-point mistake or multiple 3-point mistakes in a row, which is usually very difficult. Even for me, when I'm playing a game, I usually don't make multiple 3-point mistakes in a row, except for when I'm streaming for fun and messing around. This is a serious game, so even I wouldn't be making multiple 3-point mistakes in a row. This one's a little bit different. It could be hard to judge how much that one's worth, but yeah. It's just from end game from now on. And black ends up just a couple points ahead, it looks like. See how far it is at the end here. Yeah, just like 4 points ahead. Now I could make a bunch of mistakes in game. So if you're playing against me and you're only about 5 points behind, you could probably keep playing. But ideally, in a pro game, that shouldn't matter as much here. And hopefully, I'll fix my end game before next Go Congress, so I don't have to worry about that. Luckily, people just assume if you're good at a lot of other stuff, you're good at everything. So we can just pretend that we're good at everything, and then they probably won't test us in the end game. Anyway, opening, yeah, black ended up with a better opening, which I was not expecting, but we understood later that group was more useful than I thought it would be. Mid game, white played better than mid game, and end game, white played better in the end game. I like that. White played better overall, but the mean point loss is still better for black, but AI likes white on the end game and mid game. The opening wasn't so different that black should have been like so far ahead like that. That's funny though. That is funny to look at that. I'm sure if we let it think for a little bit longer, we wouldn't see that anymore. But this is probably one of the things I've noticed from just a little bit more experienced professionals versus some of the newer professionals from doing this little review in the morning. And that's we sometimes see some big mistakes like the 6-point mistake, but we often see more 3-point mistakes in general versus like more experienced professionals. I think most of the more experienced professionals that I've seen experiences and they've played in a few tournaments and they've accomplished something, so they've ranked up a bit. Most of them have only these top 3 as mistakes. It's usually like a 0.5, lower than 0.5, higher than 0.5, and then the 1.5 one as well. It's usually just green, light green, and yellow, with 1 or 2 3-point mistakes, 1 or 2 maximum, unless there was like a really weird reading thing that was hard for everyone to read except for AI, right? I've seen that once or twice, but that seems to be the most common thing, is that they only really make these types of mistakes, nothing that's too much bigger than 1.5 to 3. And then 3 is just like a 1 or 2. But newer professionals, they have a couple more of these bigger mistakes. That's sort of one of the things that's separating them. Well, I thought that's kind of sort of interesting. Of course, there's different ratios, right? Different ratios of these mistakes. That's a little different. But it's just fun to look at. It's not necessarily too important, just fun to look at. But that like gives you some sort of like a goal when you're playing your own games, right? It's not about having like a really high accuracy rating. It's about trying to eliminate these bigger mistakes. So I feel like if you can eliminate 6-point mistakes, you're getting closer to the pro level. And if you can eliminate 3-point mistakes in every game, not just 1 or 2 games, right? In like the majority of your games, then you're getting really close to the pro level, right? And that, of course, doesn't count super blitz games. Like look at Baduk Doctor Blitz game. He's still playing really well. But if the game was slower, he probably wouldn't have made some of the mistakes he did, right? Anyway, just a fun thing to look at. But it's already been a couple hours, so I do want to stop now. I like to do around 2 hours in the morning. It's like 2.5 hours now. This last 30 minutes, usually a nice review of the game with AI. Again, all right. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow morning. Unless I decide to do another stream tonight or something. But I don't think I will do. I think I'm going to be working on stuff. But still possible. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. If I can find the thing. There it is. Bye-bye.